This is Iron Man's most epic transformation. They were being attacked by terrorists. Tony, in order to protect Pepper's safety, took control of the Mark 42 suit and attached it to the enemy, while he himself took the full brunt of the damage. Once the suit was fully on, the shockwave threw both of them into the wall. Tony snapped back to his senses and saw his assistant lying unconscious on the ground. Meanwhile, the rooftop was rapidly collapsing. In that critical moment, Pepper, now in the suit, shielded Tony with her body. Tony told Pepper to go save the assistant. While he would figure out a way to escape, Pepper helped the assistant up. She wasn't familiar with the suit, but somehow, she managed to escape. The terrorists were still bombing the place, and the villa was on the verge of collapsing. Without the suit, Tony was at a huge disadvantage. Once he learned that Pepper and the assistant had safely escaped, he immediately called the suit back to him. At that moment, the terrorists were still firing at the villa. Tony braved the gunfire and just barely managed to get the suit on, but the Mark 42's weapon system was still being tested. It couldn't fire over long distances, so Tony aimed the palm cannon at a nearby piano and used it to take down a helicopter, but this move revealed his position. While dodging enemy fire, he pulled out mini-missiles and tossed them at another helicopter, taking it down as well. At that point, a runaway helicopter came crashing toward him. Tony couldn't dodge in time and was thrown into the lab below. The last helicopter increased its firepower and soon reduced the villa to rubble. Tony plunged into the ocean, sinking deep underwater. He was trapped under a massive rock, and the suit began to flood. But in a critical moment, Jarvis automatically detached the Mark 42's arm. Using the thruster's power, he pulled Tony out to safety. Once free, Tony activated the suit's flight system and shot up out of the water. Pepper thought Tony had drowned and screamed in desperation. The terrorists, believing Tony was dead, left the area. Tony, still dazed, was woken up by Jarvis. At that point, the suit's power was under 5%. Tony fell from the sky, but thanks to some trees breaking his fall, he landed safely. Jarvis informed him that they were now in the Tennessee wilderness. Tony, now worried about Pepper's safety, realized he couldn't fly back at that moment. Tony decided to find a place to rest and investigate who was behind the terrorists. Once out of the suit, the cold wind made him shiver. He tried to get back into the suit for warmth, but it had no power left. With no other choice, Tony dragged the Mark 42 through the snow. He came across a convenience store, took a blanket from outside the door, wrapped it around himself, then called Pepper to let her know he was safe. Afterward, Tony broke into a warehouse, planning to stay there temporarily. As he was tending to his injuries, the owner of the warehouse came back. The young boy saw Tony's suit and immediately recognized him as Iron Man. He then handed Tony a newspaper, which reported that Tony had drowned and died.